I recently came across this great idea called Checkism. It was coined by economist Noah Smith. He's a blogger and economist, and he says Checkism is the mistaken belief that simply allocating money or writing checks translates into real world outcomes. As he puts it, money equals stuff. Progressives will write big checks or pass bills with large dollar values and get celebrated for it. But then when it comes to implementation, years later, nothing actually gets built. Checkism is a critique of the assumption, often in progressive economic policy circles, that just because the government allocates and approves a large dollar amount, that the resources or labor or infrastructure and coordination actually to bring about the change doesn't take place. Noah Smith says that this could be used in the context of the large infrastructure bill or the CHIPS Act or housing development or climate transition funding. All of these, he says that the ability to deploy capital or overcome regulations and red tape and manage logistics actually produce things in the real world, that gets lost. Checkism means that there's an illusion of accomplishment, that a politician can be celebrated for the passage of a bill, but those bills take years to implement, and years later, nothing actually gets done. Democrats seem to focus far more on the size of the bill and not the implementation of it. The implementation is the hard part. The media will highlight the passage of the bill, a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill is passed, but then years later, what did we get for that money? Accountability gets lost. Politicians will be celebrated for no actual action. We don't hear whether it was done at all, or if it was done efficiently, or if it was over budget, or whether the goals were met. Oftentimes, big policies get dragged out through bureaucracy and red tape and permitting and contractor delays. And as a result, things don't get done. I see this in my industry all the time in construction, where just because we have a contract doesn't mean that the project gets built. The dollar sign on the screen does not actually mean that something in the real world, something tangible was done. That's the outcome is what matters, not the dollar value. Checkism lets politicians claim credit for action without delivering real outcomes.